Are you ready?
I am.
We're back. We're back. I don't know what happened. We had snow, and then I think I was sick. Who knows? Who cares? We're back. That's all I know. We're back. After maybe a 2-3 week absence, Jon Peckman podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. That's where we are. You come over the bridge, you pull a Yui, park in front of the music store with the red neon light. You can park now. There's no snow. It's like 80 freaking degrees in March right now.
Yeah, 70-something today. Yeah.
Kind of crazy. But we're back. We're here with Robbie DeRosa. Robbie DeRosa is many things. What we're going to talk about mostly today is he's the music director of the upcoming Meriden Daffodil Festival in Meriden, Connecticut, which the fest has been going on for how long?
48 years.
Jeez. Can you imagine that?
48 years this year.
48 years. And Robbie you were the music director for a period.
For about 20 years.
Wow.
And I took a break,
Yeah.
and Tim Barnard took over, and he's done it for 9 years, and he decided to take a break. Last year, I went and I provided him with about half of his program. He asked for that, and then I worked with him on a stage, and at the end, he retired, so I came back to make sure that was continual music on something.
And you're okay with that?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine with it.
You're back.
I'm back. My thing is Connecticut music, and so that's what it's 30 Connecticut acts. So I wanted to have my hand in there.
Right. All right. So also, Robbie has been hosting the Homegrown Show on WESU, and it's on when? Remind me.
Thursday, 5 o'clock to 6:30, and this is my 23rd year coming up in the spring semester.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All Connecticut artists.
Absolutely.
All original,
Yep.
all Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
Still going.
Yep.
And there's more than enough people out there making music.
Oh, God, there is.
Right?
Every week I could add 10 more songs if I had another half hour, but I don't want to stay out that late.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great to hear, because I guess it depends on what kind of scene you're in. But, in the scenes that I were in, all I hear is that there's nothing nowhere. There's nothing.
God, yeah. People say it all the time. But
Right.
then I'm on a Thursday, and I give every play that I do about 21 to 23 songs, and every single one of them is tied into a gig that weekend. So if they say there's nothing going on, then there's 23 shows right there going on in 4 days.
Every week.
Every week.
Right.
Every week.
Yeah.
Maybe not Christmas week like that, but like the most 50 weeks out of the year for sure.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, did you in the time of and you said how long you been doing the show? Like
starting my 23rd year as soon as the semester ends this year in the summer thing, that's when I started.
Was it ever slow or always jamming?
Well, in the beginning, I didn't do it with the gigs, and I was just getting my feet on the ground, and I didn't know if anybody beside my parents and a couple of friends were listening.
Right.
And so I would play just
like
songs I liked, and then I would do that. And then I got bored with just playing a lot of the same things all the time, and I started looking through the listings. And lo and behold, there's a ton of stuff. So I started collecting those people's music too.
Nice.
And then with the internet, you can just get a file anywhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Was there any time period where you felt like it was slowing down, or it's
no,
always?
No.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I have probably 3,300 Connecticut CDs on a wall at home.
Wow.
And then there's another
crazy.
500 in the studio that are all there since I've been there. So I kind of think they're kind of mine. Nobody else plays them but me.
Wow. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happening.
It is.
Definitely happening.
It's fun.
We're going to talk about the lineup that's coming. But until then, what else do you want to tell me about yourself? What are you doing?
Well, I'm helping out with the downtown music at the Old Church Concert Series and the music on the Green. And I say helping out. I try to do my part. It's really Frank Ritelli's the host, and
Right.
they have a whole crew of great people who do it.
Yeah.
And I joined on this year just to pitch out, help out,
Yeah.
So I've been doing that. And, the Daffodil Festival is a big commitment. So I started booking and thinking about it last May.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because that's when they said, go ahead, you could start. And some of the acts you have to kind of get, the ones that play weddings all the time, first weekend in May, you better hook them up.
Yeah.
And so I had to put, like for instance, the Cartels.
Right.
And I wanted to have them because, after all, Bill Holloman, he's amazing, and and he's played all over the place, and I want to have him. So they're playing a nighttime wedding, but they're playing a daytime gig with me on a Saturday. Yeah, and Bill will walk all around with that horn, and he plays 10 instruments. It's amazing. So
yeah. Bill's a trip. I I recently found somewhere. It was, I guess, fairly rare. I mean, it wasn't like expensive, but I found like a Danny Gatton biography, probably the only one ever written, and I was like, all right, I'm going to read this. And like Bill is all over it.
Yeah.
He was like one of the main sources for the book. And when I was done with the book, I called him up and I was like, okay, what's the real story? Pretty much what he said. But yeah, no, Bill's been around.
Yeah, and when you think of it, not only with all the Connecticut acts that as we grew up that he was in, B. Willie Smith and all that, but then, on Bruce Springsteen, when he broke up his band, who did he call? And and he played with Chic,
right,
and on tour with David Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like it's just incredible.
Yeah,
that's Connecticut talent. A lot of people don't realize that.
Well, actually, I do. I think about.
Well, I would imagine you're amongst the Connecticut talent that I would think is great.
Well, thanks. No, but I do think about that sometimes. I actually don't know because I don't know. I mean, I've been out in the wide world to some degree, but not in the big wide world for long enough. But I feel like, at least in my so-called career around here, I know tons of world-class players. I don't know how much better a bass player you're going to be than Jay Wiggin or Dave Lavolsi or Eddie Corvo or any of the
Bobo
people I played with. It goes.
It goes
I mean,
on.
just that alone.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's better, and who's better than Bill Holloman? Who's better than Joe Grieco? Who's better than, I could just name all the people I've known. And we're just all from around here, so
right.
It's true. It is true.
Which is, every band on that act is from around here, and all those different genres. And that's the thing. Is like you could walk around 3 stages and hear music that maybe you never heard this style before. So you only stay there. They're 45 minutes, 50-minute sets. So get a few minutes of that, and then you move along. You'll hear a whole nother style on the other stage at the same time.
Do you is there enough vision that you can zoom out and picture? Do you picture a person? Like, do you have completely different styles of music in every corner?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
I do, yeah. And,
awesome.
Especially at the end of the day, when you have the Stevie Experience on Saturday, for instance, on the bandshell stage, there's a tribute act for Stevie Nicks, and a country band on the welcome stage playing, original old-style twang country music, and that's Ken Atkins and the honky-tonk kind. And then under the food tent is the Orchestra La Unia,
right,
a salsa act. So there's 3 very diverse things going on all at once. And so some people, in the past, people have told me that they get the list and they try to go around and see if, while they're there on a Saturday, see if they could see a little bit on every stage while they're there, even if it's only 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you know.
Yeah, but you don't do like rock day or country
No.
day.
I have to mix it all up. I mean, I have like, for instance, the Manchurians are between Diva and the Playboys, which is a huge cover band that they're very, very popular. They play 80s and 90s stuff, and the people go wild. Yeah. And then it's the Manchurians, the guy who's got 4 Grammy nominations for his blues rock stuff. And then it's the Stevie Experience after that.
Right. Yeah.
So, and before
awesome.
that, the cover band is Eddie Seville.
Right.
And he's a world class, in my opinion. I could watch him forever. He's wonderful.
Right.
Sings and his words, everything.
Yeah.
So it's all day, and on every stage, it's kind of like that,
That's funny. I'll tell this story real quick, and then we'll move on to the thing. But the one and only time I ever went to South by Southwest in Austin, in Texas, and it was probably, right around the turn of the century, early 2000s. And the whole town is like that, and I was with Jay Wiggin, and we went to like I don't know what it was called, but it was a large-ish venue, a little bigger than Toad's or whatever. And we just said, well, let's just go here and stand here and see who comes on. And we walked in, and Steve Earle was playing acoustic. So we're like, okay, this is great. So we're standing there, and then we didn't look at anything. So everybody plays for like 40 minutes, and then they have a 20-minute turnover, and then the top of the hour. So Steve Earle gets done, and I was like, that was great. And then some band setting up, and I'm like, I don't even know who this is. And they start playing, and I'm like, this guy's voice sounds familiar, and the guy's playing a trumpet, and it suddenly occurs to me, I'm like, oh, this is Cake. This is the band Cake. I'm like, oh, this is great. Okay, cool. So I'm like, all right, this is great. This is the place to be. Then they get done, and then a piano comes out, and different kinds of people, everybody running around. And I'm like, and you could feel like, uh-oh, something's about to happen. Little Richard comes out.
Jeez. It just happened in.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the place to stand right here.
Right.
Like, it was just like, and I think that was it. Like, he closed he closed the day, but that's the kind of thing that happens down there, and this is kind of like that too.
Yeah, in our own small way, it is like that. Yeah.
Hey, why
Some
not?
people consider it like that, because you can go in the food tent, have some food, and there's like 20 different booths, and so that
by the
there's
time
music
you make the rounds,
and there's music
band
in there too, so the Bargain is playing in there on Saturday, and the Chicago Dogs, they won the Connecticut Blues thing and went down to Memphis.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's go down the list.
Yeah, let's do that.
Tell
Okay,
me a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So is this list?
It's not in any particular order.
Okay. So maybe if you can remember, tell me when they're playing.
Oh, yeah. I could maybe not the exact time, but I could tell you what day and what stage for sure.
And just give me a little blurb.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 60 Satisfaction.
Yeah. And that's, ex-Connecticut State troubadour Pierce Campbell leading that band, and it's all 60s music.
Right.
They're going to open the stage on the welcome stage, because as people come off that buses in the morning,
they want to hear
something
nice.
bright and something they know, and they could walk in. It's happy music right away.
What time does that gig start?
He starts at like 11 o'clock to 12.
That's probably why he didn't call me, because I don't do mornings. So
okay. There you go.
That's a gig I can get the call for, but like you said, maybe I didn't get the call yet, or maybe he's not going to use me because it's too early. But yeah, 60 Satisfaction are awesome. I've done that gig plenty of times. Yeah, Pierce, he's been around forever. Yeah, that's like 60s, like pop songs.
Yeah, Monkeys, I'm imagining, and that, Happy Together,
It's stuff that everybody loves.
Yeah,
So it's not like we're going to do like, a psychedelic jam.
No,
it's like
the
snappy.
pop hits, I think.
Yeah, the pop hits. It's fun. So 60 Satisfaction. Next we have Ann Castellano and The Smoke.
Yeah, Ann Castellano is from New London, and was a solo artist for years and years. But a bunch of years ago, she came to the Daffodil Festival. I said, "Why don't you have a band for that?" And so she formed The Smoke, and for 15 years they've been playing now. And so I had her back this year because I thought it was pretty cool. She's got a bunch of records out, and she has a radio show on the New London College station there, cool. WCNI, and it's also on Cygnus Radio every other week.
Oh, nice.
And so she's a great singer, and her band is rocking.
That's cool. So you have like a New London connection, you seem to.
Yeah, I do. Just when I used to work with Roger C. Reel back in the day, New London was our second home. If we weren't in New Haven, we were in New London, and so
Yeah. So you know people over there.
Yeah.
Next is Inner Groove. I've heard of.
Inner Groove is like a original pop rock act. They started as a cover band, but probably for Daffodil they won't do any covers, maybe one. But it's Denise Jones. She's got an angelic voice, and she'll have a full band. And I'm trying to think of the name of the drummer, and I know you know him. And I will think of it in just a second.
Okay. Inner Groove. Think about it.
Chuck.
Oh, Chuck Peterson.
Yeah. Chuck
Peterson.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. Yeah. That kind of rung a bell. Yeah. No,
so he can really play. He'll snap it out.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh yeah. No, Chuck's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So that's cool. Then the Big Fat Combo.
And if they're legendary, and they don't play out a real lot. And Tom Hearn's got that droll rockabilly way about him, and that stand-up bass player that spins it all around. It's a great show. And that'll be a wonderful thing on Saturday afternoon on the welcome stage.
Awesome. Similar Kind. I don't know.
Similar Kind is a indie rock act. They're a big band. They have a sax player and a keyboard player, and I think 2 guitars and a lady singer. And they travel all around. They're probably going to be in California for a few weeks, and then they'll be in Connecticut. And they'll do a great job for us.
That's cool. How'd you find them?
Well, I just, I'm always on the thing, and I see that they play, like they're in New York, they're here, they're there, they're Boston, so they play a lot of big rooms, and they're on like a tour now with an act that's bigger than them on that indie kind of circuit, but they'll get a lot of fans from that too. And so they're on Saturday later in the day.
Cool. Ken Atkins and the Honky Tonk Kind. Is that what that says?
Yes, and they're from New London also. Ken Atkins was in the synth pop band from New London. I'm going to blank out on that. They were very, very popular back in the day. They had a bunch of records out, and they played all over the place, and they had like the big 80s kind of hair. And now 3 of those guys are in country bands.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And on drums is Tom Tromley, who was in the Reducers.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be that's for me, that's a wonderful thing. And Ken too, and I'll think of that name of that band, Son of a Gun. They haven't been around in ages, but they were big.
Yeah, so that's like honky tonk.
Yeah, honky tonk, and they're going to end the day on the welcome stage on Saturday.
Nice, I like that. All right, Ramblin' Dan Stevens.
Yeah, well, he plays all over as a solo blues guy, and he's got a collection of guitars that's unbelievable. He plays on a National Steel. Sometimes he'll probably have that behind him, and he'll play. Sometimes he plays on a cigar box guitar.
Yeah.
But he's a history blues kind of guy. He'll tell stories and he'll play that. And he's on Saturday morning, first up in the food tent, probably like 11 o'clock, 11:30.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Oh boy. The Higbee Mountain Bluegrass Band with the Gonkus Brothers and Friends. Okay.
Yeah, because Rooney passed a couple years ago, and Dennis and Newt, they played with him all those years. And Dennis, was in a cover band that's not playing this year, but he's the longest single performer at the Daffodil Festival because the Gonkus Brothers have been there since for 40 years.
Sure.
They played every year except somebody's wedding was happening or something. And then Dennis did it for 10 years with the cover band. So now I had to have him back, and I wanted him to continue to be the longest guy.
Right.
And so the Higbee Mountain Bluegrass is Rooney's son.
Oh.
And so So they're going to do like a small set.
Is that Tino? Is that Chris?
No, his name is Matt.
Oh, yeah,
Matt.
No, I know, but
Chris Tino's the other guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's they're going to do their own music, and then Rooney, and then Dennis, and they're going to get up there and do their thing.
Yeah,
like about 20 minutes of Gonkus Brothers songs.
Beautiful. Yeah, I played with Matt and Chris Tino for years. The three of us, we were Acoustica. We were an acoustic trio. That's so funny. Yeah, Matt's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I didn't know the name of their band. Yeah, that's funny. All right, so that's those guys. That's cool.
And that's the midday in the old Gonkus Brothers slot.
Right.
In the food tent.
Right. Yeah, okay. So that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. The Bargain.
The Bargain, Frank Gratelli.
Oh, okay.
Muddy Rivers and Shandy Lawson.
Oh, okay.
And they started at the beginning of the pandemic around Frank's kitchen table, and they were just songs were coming out of them.
Yeah.
And so they've had a band since then. And it's going to be a 6-piece. Brian Larney's going to play keyboards, Bobo Livornia on bass, and Jim Stavros on drums. So it's going to be a big band in the food tent Saturday, like around 2:00.
That's cool. That's some New Haven action right there. Yeah. That's awesome. Cool. The Chicago Dogs, DAWGS.
Yeah, that's Mark Zaretsky on harp, and they won this year the Blues Challenge in Connecticut and went down to Memphis, and I think they made it to the semifinals, but they didn't get further than that. But it's hard. You're in 50 states, send somebody there, so but to make it to the semifinals is great. And I like to have a contest winner for sure, and Mark's a great harp player, so we'll see.
Yeah, why not?
Food tent Saturday, like at 5:00.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I always thought like a blues competition, like if you play and you actually make the judges weep, if they actually cry, then you win. Yeah. Like the whole purpose of blues music is to make you feel terrible.
Yeah.
That's funny. The salsa band. Yeah. I'm not gonna try to pronounce
Orquesta La Yunga, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And that's the Meriden guy on the timbales, and he's the band leader.
That's exciting.
Luis Torres. I'm excited about it because they just sold out the Palace Theater in Waterbury.
Ooh.
And with a bunch of dancing people, they probably won't have the dancers in as big a band as they had in Waterbury, but it's going to be a wonderful thing, and that's going to close the day in the food tent on Saturday.
Ooh.
So it's really exciting. I think it's going to be a great percussive and moving kind of a thing. The whole place should be dancing, I think.
Yeah. No, that sounds great.
The whole place.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Yeah, I'm going to have to, I have Saturdays off. I'll have to show up. Bronson Rock. I can only imagine.
Bronson Rock is original Gary Mezzi. He used to play with Paul Mayer in a couple of great bands. They were in, my God, 2 different bands that were. One was a killer one with that great singer. They were Paul Mayer and Detroit Dick on vocals. And I'm coming up with all short on these old bands' names, but Gary Mezzi's a great vocalist. He just released a solo album, an acoustic one, but this is a 4-piece rock band, keyboards, bass, drums, and guitar.
Cool.
They're going to open the stage on Saturday on Bandshell.
Oh, nice. All right. Okay. Eddie Seville.
Eddie Seville is Eddie Seville, and he'll have a full band with him. He hasn't told me what yet, and you never know what he's going to bring. Last year he came, and I didn't repeat anybody from last year that actually played, but he got rained out at the most inopportune time. He got his guys there, and one of them was a pedal steel player, and you know how long it takes to set that thing up. And the guy had it all set up, and the skies opened up, and we had to stop the show because it wasn't safe. So he didn't play. So he's coming back. I don't know if the pedal steel guy's coming back.
Oh boy!
But we'll see whatever he brings is going to be wonderful.
So that's cool. All right. Yeah. So we got a return kind of. Diva and the Playboys.
Diva and the Playboys, that's the cover band that plays all around. Like tonight, Saturday night, they were in Lansdowne in Boston. They play all the big clubs everywhere, and they jam it in. All this in the summer, they'll be at every beach bar around. People dance and sing, and they, so it's going to be one of those cover bands that's going to make people get up and go.
Sure.
Middle of the day on Saturday at the band shell, so it should be hopping.
Hey, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, the Manchurians, of course.
And that's Roger with his 4 nominations. He got a new record coming out. The last Steve Cropper record that they recorded, it was all done, and then Steve passed away before it was actually finished and put. So that's coming out shortly.
Okay.
And on that, Brian May and Ron Wood, Eric Clapton.
Can you imagine that? Bunch of bums.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah.
They've been Manchurians.
Manchurians been around for a long time, because a lot of their songs, that's why he got 4 Grammy nominations. He sold songs to Buddy Guy, B.B. King, all those kinds of guys. And so, he got 2 nominations for Cropper already. Who knows? This record, it could be great, but how's it not going to have good guitars on it with Steve Cropper and all those other guys?
Yeah. And they're like a New London thing forever.
Manchurian. Well, it was when it was Roger C. Real band, but the Manchurians have, they're playing New London too now and then.
Cool.
They don't play out that much, but their last gig was the Kate.
Oh wow. Okay. So. Yeah. All right, the Stevie Experience.
Stevie Experience. A Wallingford gal leads that. Heather.
Oh yeah.
And she's in a lot of different bands, but that's her Stevie Nicks Experience, and she'll be twirling and scarfing it up right there to close out the band shell on Saturday.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, I like Stevie Nicks. Mm-hmm. I know Heather, so that should be cool. That'll be a good one. Nice. A Palette for the Shoal.
Palette for the Shoal is a 3-piece Americana rock act, like rockish.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call them rock music, but they really tear it up, and they're going to open up on Sunday on the band shell.
Nice. Who's in that? That sounds familiar.
That is, sure. You make me name names.
Okay. All right, never mind. All right. Oh, Audio Jane. Don't know who that is.
Audio Jane is a female-fronted, a very atmospheric kind of a rock act. Nice. Very dreamy and poppy.
Yeah. Where'd you find them?
They've been around, and they just released a brand new record, and so and it's gaining a lot of traction, getting a lot of airplay, and. They just added a Meriden bass player. They were looking for a bass player, and Holden Palmieri, he jumped in, so that's going to be pretty good.
Nice. The Name Droppers, I know them.
Yeah, Bobby T.
Yep. Bobby T.
Rafe Klein, Scott Spray, and of course, Bobby T. and Scott Spray played with Johnny Winter. And,
sure.
Scott's a Grammy holder, has that statue in his house, because from one of the Johnny's records.
Yeah.
And they have records that have charted on different alternative blues charts.
Yeah.
And, some of them stayed in the top 10 for weeks and weeks and weeks. So this should be an exciting show.
Yeah.
And they're on Sunday afternoon. Vic Steffens.
Yeah.
One of his many acts that he's produced that have done really well.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, Creamery Station and a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's getting stuff done lately. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I love this. I don't know who these people are. Someone You Can X-Ray.
Someone
awesome.
You Can X-Ray is great. They are great. And they're a jam band, psychedelic-y kind of a jam band, but with a lot of rhythm. And they have a drummer and a conga player.
Sure.
And harmonica player, and they really can do a lot of interaction, and a lot of it is improvised.
Oh wow!
And so it's interesting. It's a really rocky, interesting show. Female singer, and she's very, very vibrant and alive.
Where'd they come from?
They are from like the Deep River kind of area around there.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Creamery Station is like when they started, right?
Yeah.
I remember I used to see them around. Female singer. Step in Danger. Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. Yeah, reggae.
Reggae kind of rock, yeah. They're going to open up the stage on Sunday on the welcome stage. That's Doug Poger, and he's got a guitar, bass, drums, and they kind of, I think, a sax player.
Yeah, steppers. Yeah, I get it. All right. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Adam, Burnham, Laney, and Derrico.
Okay, so that's 3 folk singers that all have their own careers. And they found themselves when they wanted to have a band, they were playing in each other's band all the time. Like, Jeff Burnham would say, Seth, can you come and play drums for me and sing backup vocals? And Larney was fitting in and playing. So I decided they just did a couple of shows with Nick Derrico on drums. Yeah. And it just fits so well because he can sing harmonies and he fits and so they, one of them plays bass, one is on keyboards and guitar, and the other one on just guitar, and they all sing and they sing each other's songs, and so it's going to be like a nice set of that kind of music.
It sounds really cool.
They're going to do about a little more than an hour on the welcome stage on Sunday.
Nice, yeah, that sounds good. Mm-hmm. Sister Funk, sure.
Sister Funk, all female band, and they are great. Yeah,
yeah, they're cool. Who's in that? I know those. I know them. Yeah. I know some of them.
Again, with the names, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. If I open up my email, I say, "Oh yeah," because they're all great.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to have them, and they play out a lot. But they never played the Daffodil Festival, and they really wanted to do it for a long time, and I'm happy to have them.
Yeah. Sister Funk, cool.
That's a Sunday afternoon.
All right. Perennial.
Now they are internationally touring punk, kind of a abstract avant-garde 3-piece keyboard, guitar, and the keyboard player plays guitar sometimes too, and a drummer, and they wear all the same outfits. A lady and 2 guys, and they're leaving next week and playing 2 weeks in UK. They just came back from another UK thing. They were in California a couple of weeks ago, so they're all over the place, and I'm hoping that they're going to bring out their younger kids who can't go see them in the bars.
Gotcha.
Because it's free all ages at Daffodil Festival, free parking and free shuttle, free entrance, so kids can go. Get a couple bucks for a fried dough, and they're in the gun.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, cool. Belle of the Fall, Tracy Walton.
Yep, Tracy Walton and Julia.
Yeah.
And that they're going to open up on Sunday in the food tent.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's Sunday. It's so busy on a Saturday normally and cacophonous, and on Sunday, in the food tent, the people that were running the booths and the people who are in there trying to, if they were there the day before, they're just kind of getting out of it, and that's going to be dulcet, beautiful harmonies, and they're going to be really mellow for them. And they didn't want to play too early either, so I said, all right, I wanted them at 11, and I said, all right, 11:30. And I said, and I'll have tea for Julia.
Nice, yeah.
So,
That's cool. Yeah, that'll be chill. Nice. Chico and Friends.
Chico Gonzalez is a Meriden guy. He was a firefighter. He plays with he just get a bunch of guys, and they'll do a 45-minute set on the Sunday in the food tent. He's played for a long time ago, and he hasn't done it for a while. And I had one set open, and I was holding it for the Connecticut State Troubadour, but they waited so long to name one.
Oh no!
That then I wanted to fill it, and he called me, and so I said, all right, Chico, you got it. So,
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
And he used to do it a lot in the old days.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, he'll do cover songs acoustically.
Yeah, that's cool. The famous Joe Flood.
Who's
been here.
God,
yeah, Joe Flood's awesome.
He's wonderful. Yeah, he's wonderful. He got rained out 2 years ago. He was supposed to be in the food tent, which is where he's going to be again, but usually the food tent is rainproof, but it rained so hard that the river came through the middle of the food tent and was all the wires under the stage, so we couldn't run it. Obviously, you didn't want to have that, and so he got rained out just as he and his bass player were getting up on the stage. Wow. So he's back after 2 years of not being there, but I love Joe Flood. He's just a great guy, and he sings so wonderfully.
Yeah.
And he's a legend too. Played with the band, and
Yeah, it's funny. I had him here. I didn't know him. I just missed it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know him at all. And Dave, my boss, booked him. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I'll talk to anybody. And he came in. It's like the coolest dude in the world. You know. I don't know. This has happened sometimes. I met him now, oh, hey, how's it going? So what do you want? And he's like, I'll tell you my story. We'll just get started or whatever. And, I don't know how the story ends, and he's just grew up here in Portland.
Yeah,
so
and he's still here.
And and he's talking about this, and then all of a sudden, as he talks more, I'm just like, the dude was a busker for decades all over the world. He's just telling these crazy stories about, setting up in a town, and it was fascinating. And I'm just like, wow, this dude's really interesting. Yeah, and then he talks about the band. Then he ends up in Woodstock writing songs with the band, and it was just so funny because, like, for me, I don't know what your show's like, but sometimes I know the answers, and sometimes I don't.
No, I like learning something right away. Somebody could tell you something that you didn't know, and you say, "Wow, how did I miss that?" But Joe Flood is like you said, he's got a great story, and he's a great singer and songwriter.
Yeah,
I mean, he's recorded whole albums that were in French, and he translated them to sing them in English. Like, he's an artist kind of a guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's really multifaceted.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was a fun show just because it was like I didn't have to pretend, like, oh, really? Like, I just was literally like, I had no idea what was
all these people that I picked, like, there's reasons for me, personal ones too, and I've always done it that way. Like I say, well, I really like for Holloman or for this guy. I booked Sex Pizza for you one time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I said, I want to have Peckman play drums. So I booked, you got rained out. But like,
oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's like, I want to put things there that I know I love, because other people, when they see them, they might say, holy crap, look at this.
Right.
And be amazed by the kind of music that Connecticut people can put across. Even if they don't know who the person is on stage, they might, in 10 minutes after listening to them, say, whoa.
Yeah, right, which is the whole point. Yeah. Instead of saying, oh, there's nothing going on, there's no time. Yeah, it's done. And then last but not least, at least on this list, is Eras, the Taylor Swift thing.
Taylor Swift.
I know her.
Three lead singers, and we have these little portable tents that we used at the downtown green when they played, that they can change in right behind the stage, and we have some ladies to hold, help them out doing that, and they're going to put on a great, all the Eras, maybe not the latest record, I don't know. But, they'll do all those things, and the kids love it. And the kids will be dancing and out there, and I thought it was a nice thing on a Sunday afternoon to close the food tent, that parents could let their kids be in there, and they could eat, and the kids could be all safe right in front of them and listen to this music, and it can't get rained out, hopefully. And so it's a nice way. Sunday's usually our quiet day, and I don't think it's going to be this year.
Hey, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's part of the plan, right?
Yeah.
So if we get the word out, and they'll know.
Exactly. I hope, and there's so many different things. Like, if people could go to daffodilfest.com, and that's the official page. There is also a Meriden Daffodil Festival Facebook page, but I have made the Daffy Tunes /26 music page, and I have maybe 3 acts more to put out, but every day I've been putting out 2 or 3 of the acts and a little blurb at the bottom of the photo. And people have been sharing it around, and I hope people will follow that just to get it out there and share the fact that all these bands are playing.
Yeah, that's really
and
cool.
This is the logo.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Which is obviously after the Woodstock bird on the guitar,
right.
Daffodil playing, but it's Kevin Markowski, who used to be the Meriden Record Journal Wallingford Sunday cartoonist.
Oh wow,
he drew this.
Hey, that's
so it's cool. Another Connecticut connection on different kind of art.
Right, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Is that it?
30 bands. Yep.
Wow.
I think we talked about them all. And, it's like I said, it's 3 stages. But that's not all there is at the Daffodil Festival. The thing about it is, like, you come off, there's carnival rides for the kids. There's an incredible family and children's thing where, there's magic shows and face painting and dancers and all these kind of things that are happening in different stages all around. And that's a real big thing because people come with their kids. You want to have stuff that everybody can do, not only the parents. And so the kids are doing that and riding the rides. The parents can listen to some music at the arts and crafts fair there. That's very, very nice. All handmade stuff. The food tent, of course, a commerce exhibit under a tent. And there's just a lot of stuff that's happening. Yeah. Justin Piccirillo has a booth where he gives the history of Meriden. He's an incredible historian, and
I've had him here.
He'll stand there and talk to you about what you want to know about Hubbard Park, and he knows every inch of that park and almost everything about Meriden. So
did he ever see the black dog?
I don't know if he has. I don't know if he. I
hope not.
Yeah, he doesn't want to see it more than once. But that so there's a lot of stuff for different things for everybody, and I think that that's what it's. For me, of course, the most important part in my mind is the music, but that's not what it's all about. It just happens to be a great local fair that has great music and has all these other great things. And like I said, the kids stuff, it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Parents will love bringing their kids, professional magic shows and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
all free.
Yeah,
free.
All free. Yep. Yeah, I've done it. I've been there. It is cool. It's totally cool. What did you? So I'm sorry if I wasn't listening, but is this your first year back?
First year back. Last year, Tim asked me to give him like 15 indie acts. Yeah. What I play on my show. He said, give me the homegrown acts. And so I picked those.
Okay.
And I gave him those, and he mixed in the other stuff, and we worked together on it, scheduling it and where it was going to go. He was really looking to leave, and he knew it. So but he was easing his way out. That's the way you do it. When I left, I trained him, and then you got to just, so he asked me to host the food tent stage. I did that 2 years in a row, which, for me, I was like chomping to get to the other things. I want, because here I am at the food tent stage, announcing, taking them on and off, which is fine. I love talking to people. At the same time, when I'm doing what I do, I'm around on a golf cart and I'm zipping here and there, paying the bands, making sure everything's all right, taking complaints and making things happen. And so for me, it's a busy 2 days from beginning to end.
Wow. But you're up for it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking for one more cart driver if anybody's interested.
Oh boy. Okay.
For Sunday, I need one more cart driver.
Oh boy.
But, because we bring in the stuff. People park their cars and we bring their gear right to the stages.
Right.
And I have helpers at the stage to help them get it on. They don't do all the lifting, so the band's got to help. Of course, they're used to doing that anyway. But to have a help, a lot of bands say, I can't believe this. We're getting driven in.
Yeah.
So it's a fun, and it's a nice experience for the acts. They get a guaranteed nut. And people get to see some great music. Yeah. Of course, you always catch some flack. There's 10 acts that say why not me? And I said to them, well, maybe next year. Right. I can fit 30, I can't fit 40.
Right.
Much as I'd like to.
Yeah. Do people reach out to you all year too?
Yeah, all year, and then some of them wait until it's too late, and then some of them will do it really early. Some that were late this year, they said, well, put me on your list for next year,
Yeah,
sure.
And
I have, believe it or not, there is a list already, because how do you not?
Right.
If, I don't want to forget. If I said to people, I'll keep you in mind, I want to keep them in mind. So I have a pad, and it goes on there, and we'll see what happens.
Cool. That's killer. Mm-hmm. How different, what did, I'm sorry, what was his name? Dan? Tim. How different was it? Was it different, or did he kind of like?
Well, different, because Tim has his own style. He likes certain kinds of music, and he's really an expert with the cover bands. And so he had probably a few more of those. Well, I have people doing covers, but they're a little bit different.
Right.
And so, yes, I have a wedding band.
Yeah.
The Cartels, but I also have the other cover band, which is a bar cover band. Tim did the same thing. Like, you mix it up.
Yeah, I didn't see the Cartels on here. When are they?
Cartels are Saturday at like 2:00.
Okay, yeah. They weren't on.
I thought we talked about Holloman.
Oh, yeah,
in the beginning.
So, but it's not on the list.
They're not?
No.
Oh, my God.
On this list.
Oh, well. But they're on the list for sure. They were the first act I hired, actually, because Tim and I went to see them in Middletown at the Wadsworth.
Right.
And there's like 5,000 people there, and they're, and they killed it.
Yeah.
They killed it. So I was determined to do that.
Killer.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you bring, I guess, maybe a little bit more of the
original bands. Yeah. And Tim used to do a lot of original bands because he listens to my show every week. Listens to the local band show with Rick Allison and Frank Gratelli, and so and
but
Dennis
you are
Lamar.
Your show.
Yeah.
You're the one.
Yeah. Kind of. I copied them. They've been on for 36 years.
Yeah, right.
And with James Velvet was on. Who was better than him? And so when I did my show, I called him up, because I used to be friends with him and listeners, and I said to him, "Are you going to be mad if I do a show over here?"
Yeah, right.
I won't call it the local band show. I don't.
Right.
So they said, "Oh no, the more the merrier," and that's the way we still feel. We share music, me and those guys, because the more that gets out there of Connecticut music, the better it is, in our opinion.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so people, on Wednesdays, that's when they do their recording for the local band show, and then they do Rick's show. It's a wonderful couple of hours with Dennis and Frankie on there, and Rick Allison's got the charmed voice.
Yeah.
The charmed voice.
Yeah, not like us right
now. Well, we try, but he doesn't have to try.
Yeah, well, some people are like that.
Yeah.
That's killer. Yeah, that's really cool. What else you want to talk about?
Well, that's the Daffodil Festival is the thing. So just that it's free. There's people should look at the site because it tells you where you could park. Several locations around Meriden, and the buses leave every location about every 15 minutes.
Yep.
Absolutely free.
I've
Take
done
you
it.
back there when you want to go back.
Yep.
And then you let off right at the midway. And I think people should come. It's Saturday and Sunday, May 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah.
It's only a few weeks away from now. I don't know when this is going to air, but
It'll air this week.
But to me, it's the beginning of spring. Some people don't like the hot weather coming. This is not hot weather. Daffodil Festival is usually like might need a jacket.
Right.
It's maybe in all my time of doing it, there were a few days where I was just in a t-shirt, but not many.
Right.
Not many at all. Usually it's a little bit chillier, and you go and but it's still lovely. The leaves are starting to get green, and people have been cooped up all winter. So it's the first big event of spring.
And the daffodils, don't
And
forget.
the daffodils. And this year they'll be wonderful because we had such a snow cover that they put in a lot of late bloomers over the last couple of years, and the snow cover will keep them from coming up too early. A couple of years in a row, they were coming up in March because we had like weeks of warm weather.
I got you.
So hopefully the weather will stay still a little bit cool,
Right.
and let them start coming up beginning of April.
Yeah, yeah.
And then by May, end of May, and beginning of May rather, they'll be lovely.
Yeah, they'll be full blast. Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I've done that. I parked. I think you parked at Platt and just get on a bus.
Yeah,
It's easy.
yeah.
Yeah, piece of
Park
cake.
at Platt, or there's also at the Meriden Square.
Yep.
They have parking there, and a lot of it there. There's a big lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And Lincoln, if Platt fills up, they move across the street to Lincoln Junior High School.
Yep.
And they used to have one downtown, and I'm not sure if they're going to have that this year. They should really, because that's a big audience downtown that doesn't have vehicles and to get to the other lots.
Right.
So it would be nice if they could walk to a bus. I don't know if they have that this year.
Yeah, who knows?
Might suggest it because then that's our salsa audience right there.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Downtown.
Yep.
I have a funny memory of the Daffodil Fest one time. I don't think I was playing, but I went to. I think the Shinolas were playing. I think.
Oh yeah,
right?
I had them in the food
Right?
tent. Yeah.
So I went. Yeah, they were in the food tent. So I went to see them, and we were leaving. We were all just kind of like walking across the grass, going somewhere, and Jim was ahead of me. He was 10 steps ahead of me or something, and we were walking. And Jim's he's like a scarecrow. He's like the frailest person in the world.
Yeah.
And as we were walking,
Until he starts playing that guitar.
oh yeah, yeah. And as we were walking, I tripped over something like a rock or something, and I did that thing where like you're gonna fall, but you're just like you're like running fast, and I couldn't stop myself. And all I could see was I was coming up on his back, and I was like, I'm going to murder him. Like, I'm going to smash into him. He's going to fall forward and just break apart. And all I could see was his back getting closer, and I kind of like went off to the side and went past him. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, I just saved your life. Like, I almost just
He would have been down on the ground.
Oh, I
there,
would have creamed him, and I still think of that. It's funny. I was like, oh, no. Can you imagine? Jon Peckman accidentally kills Jim Chaplin. Can you imagine? That's how it would be. It would have been.
A lot of people might remember the Daffodil Festival when we had all those big acts, the Turtles, Eric Burden and the Animals,
Oh, that's
NRBQ.
right. We're going to talk about the Hooters.
The Hoot. Well, that was in Bicentennial Week, but I did all that booking too. I booked a week's worth of shows for the Bicentennial Committee, which included Chuck Berry and the Hooters.
Oh, right.
And
NRBQ.
And NRBQ was at Daffodil, and Graham Parker.
Wow. Yeah, back in the day, I had
Roger McGuinn drew
I
5,000 people on the hill, solo electric guitar. I mean,
I remember I had a friend who had a local paper, and I wrote an article about NRBQ, one of my favorite bands ever, because they were playing there.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to see it because I had a gig. And that was what the article was about, how they were my heroes, and then, but now I can't even
Tommy
see them.
couldn't walk great at that time, but I drove him all around all day. And he said, can you drive me up to the flush toilets instead of make me go over here? I said, yeah, let's go. Get on.
Yeah.
Because we want to go see the flowers. And I drove him all around until they played because he couldn't walk around. He wanted to really see, like, you're stuck at the band shell. If you never leave that area, you don't know what's up above. And so it was nice to drive him around.
Yeah, I know. I still sometimes, it just occurs to me out of the clear blue at random moments. I'm like, Tom Ardolino's dead.
I know.
It sucks. Yeah. I hate it. I don't like being in a world where he's not out there. It just is not good.
No, so that was my time I had with him. It was lovely to have that. I never knew him as a friend, but then at the end of the day, I felt like I was because I drove him everywhere around.
Yeah, that's cool. We were. How did it come up? I must have posted something that had the Hooters in it, and you commented. Yeah. And we're going to have the Hooters.
That's Robbie Hyman's Meriden,
Right.
And that's why we really wanted him there. And he didn't know if he could do it, but, his parents were ailing and getting older. And so it was a homecoming for him. And we really had to really have a lot of sound reinforcement. It was really, really a big show to put on. And nowadays, they just go to tour Europe.
Right.
They go for like 6 weeks or 5 weeks, and they do Germany and all those countries. They bring their families. They stay in the nicest hotels because they're big stars still over there.
Hey, that's cool.
Oh yeah, but we can't get them in Meriden anymore.
Right. Yeah. Right. Did you know him back in the day?
Oh yeah, I've known
him. Really?
Yeah, one of my cousins, Gary Henry, was in his original band, the Trolls.
Oh, okay.
And
I know Gary.
You do know Gary Henry?
Drummer, right? Yeah. I knew him from T-Bone from way back in the day.
Sure,
Gary Henry.
Sure.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I didn't know that was just before my time, but
the Proteins and the Trolls they were in, and then after that, Robbie went to college and he was in Baby Grand first, which was the same guy from the Hooters.
Right.
But it was around his piano. They put out I think 2 records, played Toads once, and then the Hooters, and they were so popular in Philadelphia, they became obviously worldwide known.
Right.
And then writing for Cyndi Lauper, forget about it. I mean, he had, she wanted them as her band when she first came out.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because they wrote all the songs together and stuff. So,
that's cool. Yeah, I was a big, I was a Hooters fan when they came on MTV, and I just back then in the '80s, I just had no idea that he was from Meriden.
Yeah.
How the hell would I would have not known? This is before the internet.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you don't know.
And one time, Gary Henry helped me run a show in Meriden. It was called Meriden Music Men. We had Robbie Hyman, Gary Burr.
Oh, right.
Gary Henry on drums.
Right.
And we had all those people who had done things. Paula Sola.
Right.
So it was we brought them all home, and it was a nice time.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, this has been great, John. I really loved it, and I hope people will consider coming to the Daffodil Festival.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be, at least enough people that go. They know it's happening.
Oh yeah,
they go every year.
Or if they don't go every year, they might say, "Gee, that sounds pretty good. Maybe we should go back
and check out the lineup."
Yeah, check out the lineup, and if it's a nice day, you go there and get a fried dough, or you buy something homemade in the craft fair.
Why not?
If you like the loop-de-loop, you could do that too. I'm not a ride guy anymore, but I think a lot of people love that stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm not really. Who's in charge? I wonder. So how many? Before we go, because now I'm thinking. So you run the music.
Yeah.
Someone else
does the parade, which is 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. 30-unit parade, fife and drums, and all the high school bands and all that kind of stuff.
There.
They start at the top of the hill and come down Main Street and walk around the lake, and then they exit at the back. And so that's the beginning. That's the real start of it. Is the parade. And there's somebody who runs that, and he has a whole crew of people who help him on that. There's people who run the kids stuff. There's people who do, just logistics stuff. They make sure that everything's running smooth. Wow. And we have electricians who come and wire the tents and do all that kind of stuff. And, there's a lot of volunteerism that goes on. The committee's 30 people. And so everybody has a job. Somebody's doing the T-shirts. Somebody takes care of the volunteers. My wife and her friend, they cook for the They feed the volunteers.
Wow!
And so there's an area that they go to when they volunteer. They have a wristband. They can get a free meal and have a little bit of relaxation in there.
Yeah.
And so it's really a finely tuned machine.
Yeah.
People go and they don't realize what's happening.
Well, that's what I say. I'm just starting to think, and I'm like, for every there's another person.
There's 30 of us.
Yeah, that does.
30 of us that are doing that, and and so everybody has their job, and we all try to help each other one way or another. The week before is the tag sale underneath that food tent, where there'll probably be like 75 or 80 people with their stuff, on tables trying to sell it, and we'll sell hot dogs and hamburgers. The rides will run, so they get there, see how the rides are doing, see if the seats fall off.
Who's in charge of the weather? You got to hire that person, get that person.
I know. Yeah, well, we do have our own weather thing. You know, we have like a Doppler thing there, and that's why last year the weather was coming. It was beautiful. One of the best days ever was on Saturday, and about 2:30 they told us by 3 o'clock we got to hold off, and at 3 o'clock the skies opened up, and it was incredible.
Yikes!
Yeah,
yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anything can happen. You know, it's spring.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's fine.
But anything can happen. But we're going to have 2 good days this year, I think.
You want me to mute so you can fully blow?
No,
your
I'm
nose?
good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Because I could.
That's all right. I'm good.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's spring. Anything can happen. They should hurry up, set up, and do it now. Right now.
Today, we should have had it up yesterday. I was thinking as I sat on my deck, boy, if it's like this, at least one of the days we'll have a killer crowd. But it's going to be like it both days, I think. Cool. At least no rain. So
yeah. I don't want to put you on. I just thought of this. I don't want to put you on the spot, but because I usually do 5 favorite albums kind of thing to wrap the show up, which we did last time. Which I don't remember yours. I got to be honest, but you want to give me your 5?
That was 2 years ago, I think.
Right. You want to do your 5 favorite local albums?
Yeah,
can you do that without throwing anyone? I don't want to.
No, yeah, like the Bargain has a new one out called Smile and Smile.
Who?
The Bargain does.
Okay.
And Roger's in another band with his drummer called Real Wolf, and it's Brian Eben Parker Wolf, and they are constantly recording. They don't play out, but they have some great stuff that's out. I love what they do. And the Name Droppers records, they're really punchy and nice. Very, very good.
Yeah.
And Someone You Can X-Ray has a brand new one out right now that is just screaming. And so they're going to come out there and they're going to have a crowd there. People love that.
Yeah.
And so there's, I could go on because there's so many great records. Brian Larney puts out, sounds like a song a week.
Yeah.
And none of them are bad.
Wow.
And he's in, the Adam Larney thing. Yeah. And Seth Adams they all have stuff constantly. I can't think of anybody there that has bad original music, or I wouldn't have had them.
Yeah, right.
So
sure.
And there's probably half a dozen that have no originals, but like Sister Funk, they have originals, although they do a lot of covers.
Right.
But they'll probably do 70% originals at a festival, I would think. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Yeah. In all of your albums that you've listened to from local bands and all the time you've done the show, your favorites.
Oh God, the Step Kids, that was wonderful. And it also ties into a Daffodil show where they did their light show, and they, fireworks going off above them with a psychedelic light show. Wow. The Manchurians record Deliverance was an absolute killer.
Okay.
And that's years ago back. And like I said, the Bargain's newest one, Smile and Smile, wonderful. All-time favorites, it's hard because there's 3,000 on my shelf.
Right.
The Reducers records, and there wasn't a bad Reducers record ever. And so I probably have 4 of those at least. Yeah, you could go on, Mighty Soul Drivers. Right. The latest one that Bobby Orsi mostly wrote in fronts. So all those dynamic in all their own ways.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, and you don't have a thing. You like everything.
I like it all, basically, because, I just like to hear it and see what they're doing in this genre. And then if I had only a thing, my show would be very boring.
Right.
Because, I'll maybe play 2 or 3 of the same style because they happen to be playing that week, but I try to mix it up and I look around for that especially. And I look, what I'm playing, somebody in New London, somebody in Westport. I want to play somebody in Bethel.
Yeah.
So that the whole state, it's not that big of a state. If you really want to see a show, you can get to it in any time.
Right.
If you really want to see somebody.
Yeah, sure.
So.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, how about it for Connecticut,
Yeah.
I guess it's easy to knock where you're from, but it sounds like we have things going on.
There's things going on, yeah. It's not that be all and end all of the world. A lot of bands want to get out. They go to Boston, they go to New York, they go to LA.
Right.
And then, they want to come back and play a show now and then too, because it's hard in those cities. It's harder than here even. If you have the right material, you can make it from wherever you're going to make it, I think, but maybe not.
Sure.
But you got to follow your whims and go where you got to go.
Yep. I hear you.
But anybody who's out there that has any music, Connecticut music, send it on to me, WESU, 45 Broad Street in Middletown.
Okay.
And,
Right.
send it in, I'll check it out.
Right.
Send me your gig list.
Yeah, sure.
Like me, follow me on Facebook. It's on there. Homegrown is on there too.
Right.
So, and in the meantime, right now they should be going to the Daffodil sites, daffodilfest.com and DaffyTunes26 for all the info.
Yeah.
And of course, then run this on loop.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh no, we're not leaving. We're gonna start over and go to the top, and we're gonna do a live loop. We're just gonna go until
forever.
Till the card runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until May.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Anything else?
No, I think we covered it.
Yeah.
I think we did.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I mean, I grew up in Wallingford. I lived in Meriden for 15 years.
Yeah.
Right over there. Now we live in Berlin. Yeah. But that's not far. It's not
you
far.
lived on Colony Street for a while, didn't you, when you were a young drummer in one of them houses up on the hill? Maybe not.
No.
Not Cook Avenue either?
No.
There were so many band houses like that in town,
Yeah, no. Me and my wife we had a condo.
Uh-huh.
I used to call it the Republic of South Meriden.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of its own.
Yeah.
Had its own vibe.
It certainly does. It certainly does. I grew up in South Meriden.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, on the edge of it. So they didn't really accept me as a South Meriden. I was on the edge, but I went to school there for my beginning school and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I never lived there as a kid. Just as an adult. Like Wallingford, that's my patch.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Meriden's getting to be a music mecca. Grace's Place, I don't know if you know it. It's a sober bar on East Main Street, and it's run by a brother and sister, and they've been doing shows like 5-6 nights a week.
Oh wow! Okay.
Daytime shows, nighttime shows, all kinds of different music, and they're packing the people in with no substances, no liquor, coffees and drinks and everything. So it's a very healthy place for the kids.
Yeah.
All ages. And, we got the stuff going on downtown, the Daffodil Festival, and we used to have the Hanover House. I don't know if you remember that. That was a killer place.
Yep.
So there's always been some kind of music in Meriden, and, I try to be a part of it for the most part.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
So thanks again, man.
Oh, of course. No, I mean, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. So I don't know. Hopefully this isn't too early to keep it hot, but it is. Give me the dates one more time. It's May
2nd and 3rd. Yep.
May 2nd and 3rd, the Meriden Daffodil Festival, Meriden, Connecticut,
in
USA.
Hubbard Park, beautiful Hubbard Park.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I always love Hubbard Park. When I was a kid growing up in Wallingford, a little kid, we used to go to Hubbard Park.
Sure, because there's a big swimming pool and there's a
yeah.
castle and all that kind of walking area.
Yep.
Big pond to fish in. It's a great park.
Yeah, I can remember bringing relatives from out of town, going to the top of Castle Craig and looking at everything. It's a thing.
It is.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. Well, Robbie DeRosa, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So I'm not going to go down the list again, but hopefully you heard your name on here and you heard Robbie's synopsis of your musical contributions to the universe. You're going to hear all of it.
Yes, you are.
All of it.
And I'll be playing all the music in the weeks to come on my show, too.
Right.
A few bands every week and talking about it, too. So people will get sick of me, maybe, but we'll see.
We'll see. All right. You ready?
Yep.
There we go. Robbie DeRosa, musical director of Meriden Daffodil Festival, Meriden, Connecticut. Also host of, for the 23rd year?
Yeah, coming up,
23 years of the Homegrown Show on WESU on Wednesday.
Thursday,
I'm sorry.
5 o'clock.
Thursday, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. He's working hard to bring you a whole bunch of music. I hope everybody goes out. You know what I'm saying? And check it out. Check it all out.
Yes, please do.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that is all.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.